afternoon, everybody. How you doing? All right, excellent. Class of 2014, thank you guys very much for allowing me to come and speak to you this afternoon. It's a great honor and privilege that you asked me to do this, and I'm very excited and mildly terrified. So I know a college career can seem like it's a long prospect, but I'm sure it can also feel like only yesterday that you all were on Abbey Green cheering your heads off with the class of 2011 during NSO, or walking onto this campus or one of the many other 11 campuses that we have for the School of Human Services for your first class. In that time, it's been incredible to watch all of you grow and to continue to grow into strong and successful, confident leaders. It was fairly hard for me to think about what I could offer you all in your final 24 hours as a Springfield College undergrad. Over your time at SC, you've all stepped into roles that have both challenged you as well as helped you to become the leaders you are today. Whether you were an orientation leader, an RA, a captain or a senior on a sports team, someone to a friend in need, someone who was there to be there in the classroom and be a contributing member. Whatever it was, it's asked you to rise to the occasion and be the gifted leader that you have. And these gifts and these powers that you all have gained over the course of your time at Springfield, again, have helped you to become the person you are. And with these great powers also comes a great responsibility. I would like to address some of these powers that you have all taken over your time at Springfield and what some of these powers can do as you leave from here and the responsibilities that go along with those powers. And it all starts with relationship building. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of relationship building that you do to help advance yourself in your career. I believe it most of the time comes out, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Just for the record, that's not the type of relationship building I'm talking about. I'm talking about more of a relationship where you take a genuine interest in the people around you. As leaders in service, which come tomorrow when you all graduate, you will all be, it's the opportunity to really get to know and to support the people who are around you. Taking an interest in them is what makes you a leader, and being able to be that person, to be there for them, is what makes you a leader in service. I want you guys to think about the past couple years you've been here. How many of you can name somebody who was the custodian who cleaned your residence hall on the facility staff? Or, all right, excellent. What about the person who ran the grill in Cheney? All right, awesome. The administrative assistant who works in your major's office. Excellent. What about the one of the security guards who watches your building from 11 to 6 a.m.? All right, excellent. So it's great to hear that all of you have taken the time to learn and meet those people, because for some reason, a lot of people do not take that time. They don't take the ability to do the people who do what we look at as, for some reason, the less jobs in this world. And I think that that's one of the biggest oversights in leadership. Those people they're your rock. They're the people who keep your academic spaces clean, they keep you fed, they do all of these things that are essential to you being the person you are and getting the work done that you need to get done. And we need to make sure that wherever you go from here, you continue to meet those people and you continue to learn about those people. Because at my Y, if I didn't take the time to really get to know those who work in my welcome center or those who work on our maintenance staff, a lot of the times, if one of my instructors isn't able to teach a class, I don't even hear about it until after the fact because my welcome center is able to take those on without me having to be there. Or if something in my Y breaks, it's fixed before I even know that it's broken because those people are looking out for me because I've taken the time to get to know them. It is so important that you take the time to get to know everyone that you work with, and those relationships will continue to flourish. So the responsibility that goes with relationship building is making sure that you're not doing it just for yourself, but doing it for the people who you're serving. As a leader in service, it's your job to serve the people you work with. And everyone that you work with, and those people, if you continue to cultivate those relationships, your reach as a leader will reach significantly further than you can possibly imagine, and will continue to affect the people who are around you. The second power that I want to discuss is humility. When it comes to humility, I think it's the most underappreciated trait that a leader can have. Now, when I'm talking about humility, I'm not talking about letting other people walk all over you or being that person who doesn't take credit for the things that you do. I'm talking about grounding yourself in why you do the work that you do. That grounding of yourself and that ability to continuously remember why you do what you do, it's really, really important to keep yourself from gaining that big head that ultimately will have the people you're leading kind of resent you for it. Being part of a Springfield College family, as it is, you all have had great opportunities to do great things, and many of you have been trained to look at those high-level jobs like being a CEO, running a sports complex, opening your own practice. Those are things that you guys are looking to be able to do. And this is a power that you have that will both help and hurt you. When I started applying for jobs after I graduated from grad school, I made it to the final 2 in 7 different jobs and got passed over on each of them. And the line that I kept hearing, and you guys will get used to this line too, you have great skills, but you just don't have enough experience. And it's a line that I could never come to terms with because I thought I'd proven myself as a leader while I was at Springfield. Why is it so hard for me to get a job? And then I had to check myself and say, while I may have been able to do all those great things here at Springfield, whatever organization I'm going to join, they know none of that. They don't know anything that I did here. And in doing that, I have to go and prove myself all over again wherever I end up. And I think that that is something that we lose being Springfield College students. We forget that doing great things here, while it's going to give you the tools to be able to do your job well, you've got to prove that all over again. Don't let your head get too big where you forget that that is what has to happen. And I look at this idea of humility, and one thing that I think about are the faces that are sitting in these front rows, in the faculty and staff. The faculty and staff that are here today because they want to be. When it comes to commencement and graduation, you know, that isn't something where they are asked to be there for because it's important. But here, the faculty and staff that are here, they chose to be here. They know that they wanted to celebrate you guys as a staff and as your faculty. And I think that that's an incredible thing to have them here today, only because they want to recognize the work that you have all done over your time here. And wherever you are out there. There you guys are. Thank you guys very much for sending me your son 6 years ago, because he has made such a difference in my life, and I don't know where I would be without him. So, your responsibility in humility and what you are charged to do is to make sure that the reason you do something, the reason why you're getting involved in whatever you do, that you keep that at your center for everything. Because if you're not keeping that at your center, you find that you're not able to do the things you do as well. That the only person you hurt in not keeping your why and your reason for what you do at your center are the people that you serve, because they're not getting the best version of you. If you really have this challenge and this desire to do this great work in being a leader in service, you've got to keep yourself grounded, because only in then will the people you work for get the incredible individuals that we have all seen over the course of your time here at Springfield. And that's so important, to make sure that you keep yourself in that place and never let something think that I'm too good for that, or that's below me, because at no point is that ever true. And you should continuously make sure that you remember that. The last point that I want to make is your power of your individual gifts as leaders. Each and every one of you have a power that I could not even begin to try and quantify. And these are the powers that have gotten you to the point in your life where you're ready to go out into the world and take it head on. I believe that everyone in the world has these powers to shape it the way they want to. But I don't believe that there are some, and I do believe that there are some that choose not to use them. If comic books and superheroes have taught us anything, it's that those who have these great powers, to use them is a choice. It's a choice, and that means that it's all on you. It's not on anybody else. If you're going to have these great powers to help the world around you, that choice is on you. Unfortunately, too many people choose not to use them. They choose to simply sit by the sidelines and not allow themselves to use their powers to help. We heard earlier today from Randy that the story of Rip Van Winkle that Dr. King told 50 years ago tomorrow at the commencement address. Dr. King is asking us in this specific example not to be asleep during defining moments of character. And he goes on in his speech to say, and I quote, "Somewhere we must come to see that human progress never rolls on the wheels of inevitability. It comes through the tireless efforts and persistent work of dedicated individuals. And without this work, time itself can be an ally to the primitive and insurgent forces of irrational emotionalism and social stagnation. So we must help time and realize that it is always the time to do right. This responsibility comes with the gifts that you all possess. You all have been given the privilege to attend college, a privilege that not everyone gets to do. And I know during your time at college, there have been times that have been hard, times that have caused you to reach down deep inside you and get the bottom of what you've got left to get through some of the things you've done. Even in all those times, the people and powers that you have acquired with on the people that sit to your left and your right, they are the powers that make you a leader. When you all leave tomorrow, you're going to go out into the world and you're going to realize the world's pretty hard. It's difficult. The people are difficult. The lives that you will live for your first few years will be littered with challenges and struggles. And then once you get beyond those first few years, they continue to be littered with challenges and struggles. And through all of this, there is no excuse to be indifferent. I believe that indifference is the biggest crime in the world. Those who are indifferent allow those who are standing for something, even if it's the wrong thing, to hold the power in this world. In all the great stories that we've ever been told, this is the idea that sits at the center of them. Those would say that the real world has a romanticized view of these, that those people who go out and try to do these great things in the world, that's not really the way it is. You know, you really got to make sure that you keep yourself protected. You know, you don't really want to go out there and do something that's too big or too much that's going to put yourself out there and potentially open you up to be ostracized by the rest of the community. One person can't really make a difference. And fighting for what you believe in is great and all, but that doesn't really affect the real parts of your life. I am here to tell you that that is not something that I ever want any of you to keep in the back of your head. The only people who actually make a difference in these worlds are the people who are willing to make themselves fools, the people who are willing to go beyond what is here and beyond and be able to see what can be. Because if nobody does this, then all we're left with is what we've got right now. And I think some of us here who have been part of this work and are able to see what could be, that's not good enough. The world needs you to stand for something. You cannot be indifferent. You cannot let things go. Stand for something and be there to do the great work that we're all looking to do. You've got to take a risk. You've got to embrace this power that you've got, and you've got to choose to use it. If you don't, then our time here that we spent at Springfield was wasted. This is what we call you to do. And this is what all of us here that have been part of your education hope that you will do. Congratulations, class of 2014. I cannot wait to see the work that you all do, the impact you will leave on the world, because now the world is your campus. Lead it in service. Thank you.